We are so excited to have Mr. Bernard Alexander kicking off the very first session of our workshop series. He is none other than the networking king. He is committed to supporting entrepreneurs and small businesses in the region, and we are so thrilled to have him. I encourage you to take notes, and I encourage you to reflect on those notes and implement the tips and strategies that he shares. I believe that you will get good success from it. And so I'd like to turn it over to Bernard. Thank you again for your continued support of Axiom as well, even in this capacity. I know you'll enjoy what he has to say.
Thank you very much, Michelle Chen, for that warm and kind introduction. I want to introduce myself again to everyone who is watching this recording of the Zoom. My name is Vernard Alexander. I am the director of the E3 Alliance. The E3 Alliance, the Equitable Entrepreneur Ecosystem, has been put together to help build the pipeline of entrepreneur resources within and surrounding Western PA. The E3 Alliance have been created a couple years ago, and I am the incoming director. I've been with the E3 Alliance 4 months now, and the members of the E3 Alliance plus we are working collaboratively to provide as many equitable entrepreneur resources to our communities as possible. So that work includes making sure that you have access to all the wonderful entrepreneur programs that's in our communities, to make sure that you have access to capital programs, and just to make sure that anything that's going on in the entrepreneur world, you have access to it. So I'm going to share my screen, and there are 7 current members of the E3 Alliance. And first up, we have Axiom Advancement Corporation, the sponsors of this event that we're having here today. And you can see Axiom, you see their website on the far right. And Axiom has a microloan fund that provides access to capital to small businesses. They offer a variety of different programs, mentorship programs on toolkits and how to file your taxes, to prepare your taxes. We also have Catapult of Greater Pittsburgh, and they have a slew of entrepreneur programs ranging from youth entrepreneurs, food-based entrepreneurs, and retail-based entrepreneurs. And you can see their website on the far right as well to learn more information. Axiom is located on the Hill District. Catapult is located in East Liberty. They're also getting ready to open a second location on the Hill District within the next few weeks. We have Community Forge, which is based in Wilkinsburg, as one of our E3 members. In January of 2022, they will be launching I think it's a 9-month incubator program for new and existing entrepreneurs, where there's a plethora of resources and coaches and access to capital. It's a very good program as well. We have Omnicillo Cares. The information, the website is on the far right, and they're known for their real estate co-empowerment series, and that's really geared towards folks who want to learn about how to buy, sell, rehab, and flip houses. They also have a 7 Pillars program for folks who are existing entrepreneurs as well. And Omnicillo Cares is located in a central part of the city. We have Own Our Own, which is located in Homewood, and they have 3 12-week cohorts that they facilitate throughout the year 2 of their cohorts is for food-based entrepreneurs only. And then once a year, they have a cohort that's open to anyone. Then we have Riverside Center for Innovation. They work with entrepreneurs of all types, but they're really known for their construction cohorts. And they have a diversity business resource center for businesses that are looking for certifications so that they can obtain government contracts. And they also have Kiva Pittsburgh that's located within the RCI system, and that is an access to capital program using crowdfunding. And then last but not least, our 7th current member is the University of Pittsburgh Small Business Development Center, the Institute for Entrepreneur Excellence, and they have a series of one-off courses that have a variety of different classes. They do have a program that's offered once or twice a year. It's called the Power to Prosper program, and that's located typically in Homewood. It's a 6-month-long program that's offered twice a month for advanced stage entrepreneurs. So these are our core 7 members. We're looking to add more members early next year, but these 7 organizations have been working collaboratively for the last couple years plus, and they work to make sure that the resources are shared, ideas flow back and forth, and that you have access to all these amazing programs. I'm also a serial entrepreneur. I own 3 small businesses, and affectionately known in the community, folks call me and they refer to me as the Connecting King. So today we are here to talk about how to use the power of networking to build your business. So this is one of my favorite topics. I love talking about networking and how you can use it to start or expand your business. So we're going to get right into it. I've been hosting networking events for about 15 years, and it took me a long time to honestly to get comfortable with networking and the power that comes with networking. And a lot of people make simple mistakes that can result in personal or professional failure when they don't utilize networking the right way. Anyone can participate in networking events, but learning how to connect with individual people will definitely help you take your goals to the next level. So one of my first tips is, I know we're living in a pandemic, right? So things have been different for the last year and a half. But when it comes to live events, and as we've seen over the summer, live events have slowly started to come back, even in limited capacities. But one of my first tips and suggestions is, if you plan on attending a networking event in person, or even participating in a networking event or business seminar via Zoom, one of the first things that you should do is to reach out to the host and find out who is on the guest list, right? Find out who will be participating in that live or that virtual event. Then, utilizing that list, you can see if there's a person or two on that list that you may have admired from a distance, someone that you really want to get to know, to potentially become a mentor, a partner, someone who can help you with one aspect of your business to help you get to that next level, and utilize that host. So the first step is to use the host to help you get access to that list. Scan the list, and then maybe go back to that host and say, hey, can maybe you do a warm introduction before the event or after the event to help me break the ice with the person that I'm trying to connect to. So those are the first basic steps for in-person or virtual events. And you have to remember that networking and connecting is a two-way relationship. It's not all about you. It is not all about me. Typically, one of the fatal mistakes that folks make when it comes to networking events is once they meet someone, they want to give them their entire life story within a 5-minute conversation. You got to remember that the person who you want to connect with, they're there for a certain reason, whether or not they're the guest speaker, the guest of honor, someone who's there to network and connect with other folks as well. They have busy lives, they're tired, they're hungry, they may be thirsty as well. So you do not want to monopolize their time. You don't want to do it, right? So try to keep it as simple as much as possible. But one of those fatal mistakes is people try to push their entire agenda as soon as they meet a person. So consider what you have to offer the other person, especially when it comes to creating new relationships. You want to make it a win-win. So another tip that I have, to kind of use the power of networking, again, whether it's a virtual event or an in-person event, try to limit the number of new people that you would like to meet to 3 or less. How many times have you been to an event and someone gave out every business card they have, or you received every business card that someone would give you, right? And so think about that. Think about the number of times you attended an event and you received 20 or 30 business cards. And think about how realistic it was that you contacted each and every one of them. I bet you the numbers are pretty small, probably 10% or less, right? So my tip to you is to strive to just meet no more than 3 new people as far as looking to build a new relationship with that person, whether it's personal, professional, with your business, right? And when you meet those folks, you have to really think about why are you trying to cultivate this new relationship? And as that goes through your mind, I know what you're thinking. I'm super nervous. I'm an introvert. I'm shy. I don't like talking in front of a lot of people. I'm usually only comfortable with the people I know. You have to practice. You definitely have to practice. And you have to calm your nerves. I still get nervous, surprisingly, even after hosting events for 15 years, I still get nervous. But you have to calm yourself. And think about some basic icebreaker questions when you meet someone new. One of the questions that you may ask is, why did you start your business? Or what do you like about being an entrepreneur? Or can you give me the name of one book that is a must read for you? So at the end of the day, right, you want to make it about the other person. Even though you have general interest and ask, you want the other person to know that outside of the information, resources that they can help you with, that you're genuinely interested in them as the person. So many people get requests for many different things, but building those true, authentic relationships will definitely help change the game. So, excuse me, as much as you want them to know about your story, Ask them about their story. And that's where the synergy will be created, where this relationship is going to start to fold and come together, unfold and come together. So for those of you who are introverted, who are shy, who are nervous, don't like speaking in front of others. So I gave you a couple tips, right? One of the first ones is to utilize the host to possibly obtain a guest list, to maybe get a virtual or in-person introduction. Gave you a couple tips on icebreaker questions to get the conversation started. The next tip I actually have for you is to arrive early. If you have arrived on time, you are actually late. So if the networking event is scheduled for 3 p.m. on a Saturday, try to arrive by 2:30, 2:40. You know, there's going to be other individuals who will be there early as well. And this gives you the opportunity to break the ice with the first person and to calm your nerves and not to be as nervous as maybe you would be in the past. So this kind of helps you proverbially break that ice, and get there early because, the person that you may want to meet, they may actually come in late and they may leave early. So try to be there as early as possible to help calm your nerves. The keys to success. 15 years ago, when I started my business, the Minority Networking Exchange, my tagline that I created then, which I still use now, is connecting is the key to success, right? So what are some of the keys that I didn't mention yet? One of the first keys is to make sure that you have a business card if possible, or any type of marketing materials or access. You want to make easy access for the people that you're connecting to learn more about you and to be able to find you after the event's over. If you do receive a business card or email, try to send an introductory email within 72 hours. Hey, thank you for your time. Thank you for the few minutes that you gave me. I appreciated learning about your business. That is great. I have a Great Dane as well, and whatever common interest you have, maybe you just make a light mention of it in an email. Don't shoot your shot totally, right? In person or through that introductory, the follow-up email, right? Just ask, the person if they're available for coffee or lunch in the near future. But in that initial email, don't tell them that you really want to meet them because there's 10 steps to your business that you want them to assist you with. That may be overwhelming for them because they're busy as well, so that introductory email and even the first meeting, you want to keep it as light as possible. Rehearse your elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch, you should be able to do it in 30 seconds or less. And that is who you are, what you do, why you do it, what makes you different, and how to find you, right? And if you have one thing that you need assistance with, or one thing that makes you different from your competitors, you can mention that. But don't go all in. Don't go all in on a first meeting or even a second meeting. Let the person that you're trying to connect with, let them, get a feel for who you are and what you do. And, if there's common interest there, they'll actually volunteer their services to you and to learn to get to know you more. So ultimately, everyone's looking, for assistance in some way or another, but don't forget what you have to offer the other person. I remember there's a young young man in a community who's a very successful entrepreneur, had a very successful corporate career, and I wanted him to be my mentor and just to learn more about business. And what I learned was he wanted me to teach him a little bit more about how to use social media. So it was a great win-win relationship. And that shows how you can use the power of connecting to build your business and your brand.
Vernard, thank you again for being one of our first presenters in the 2021 workshop series. And it is so important, the information that you shared, because nowadays, if you don't exist on social media, 9 times out of 10, your company does not exist to customers. And so we want to thank you for all of those valuable tips. I learned something, and I'm hopeful that everyone who's attending this session has learned something. And we look forward to the next presentation. And if you can kind of give us just a little bit sneak peek into what you'll be talking about in part 2.
All right. Well, thanks again, Michelle, for having me here today. And I always love sharing and offering resources to entrepreneurs. So I'll be back for part 2. And part 2, we're going to talk about engagement marketing for entrepreneurs. And just a little tip and preview, engagement marketing is the power to get folks to like, comment, and share your content. Like, love, comment, and share your content. The more those things happen, the more those things occur, the quicker your business, your brand, your social media pages go viral. And that's the key. That's how you obtain new customers, new followers, folks who may not have known that you existed yesterday. Engagement marketing, getting people to react to your content. And that is what we're going to discuss in part 2.
Thank you so much. I am looking forward to that. I'll be bringing my pen and paper and implementing a lot of what you give us. And I just would like to thank you for being who you are to our community, for being that, what's your title again?
The Connecting King.
The Connecting King. We need that. We need others to lift up our businesses and lift up what we're trying to do in the community. So thank you for that. Thank you again for your time, for sharing. Thank you for being the director of the E3 Alliance. Your presence has meant everything to what we are building there. And so we look forward to the next session. And everyone, have a good evening.